The one thing I really loved was just the way he talked about that, the way he wanted to structure the organization, the things that they were going to do, which was really concentrate on depth. They talked about the minor league side. They talked about, the lack of depth they had at AAA. They talked about the fact that, this team has suffered from that over the years, and they don't want to make excuses for it. They want to make sure that they've got all those pieces, and that's something I had been harping on for the couple years I've been on the show is the lack of depth. Quality depth to come in and kind of take the place of guys when there are injuries or other surprises. So I thought that was a very, very good point.
Jared Porter has a great reputation. Everybody who's worked with him, I think we've heard that come out over the last couple of days. I've gotten a lot of the same from the people that I've talked to around the game. My biggest takeaway from this press conference, though, his taste in music is evident based on his what he's got around him in his Zoom room. Over one shoulder, he's got a famous picture of Muhammad Ali with the Beatles. I couldn't make out the other two, but I've asked around. The ones over his other shoulder, my sources tell me, were Dave Matthews and Bruce Springsteen. I'm liking that. I also liked the one thing that he said when asked about his ambition to be a GM. He said, you need to dominate the job you're in. If you dominate the job you're currently in, you're going to get more opportunities down the road. That's advice I've handed out to people who ask about our field. Do the job you're given, do it well. People will notice. I love that he's taken that to get to this very high level in his current profession.
Sweeney, that is terrific reporting. I was looking at the frames behind him. It was a little dark, and I could not make out what they were. You asked around. You got answers. That's why you do what you do. Moose, originally it seemed like the Mets wanted to hire a big-name president of baseball ops under Sandy Alderson. Instead, they've hired somebody younger in Porter to be the GM and for Sandy to kind of mentor him. Was this the better outcome of the two?
I don't know if it was necessarily the better outcome of the two. I mean, I think it's fine. I think you're going to accomplish everything that Cohen set out in that 3 to 5 year window, taking this avenue. It obviously wasn't option A. So if that's going to bother you, it's going to bother you. But you have a guy, an executive like Sandy Alderson, been there, done that. He's a Hall of Fame caliber executive in Major League Baseball. Then you bring in a guy like Porter, who has the great stellar reputation, is a forward thinker, progressive thinker. I like the one he talked about there being a balance between the human angle, analytics, improving the player development, something that Anthony mentioned down the farm system. So I think it can work. And I think for Sandy Alderson now, it's a matter of leaning on his experience with Porter learning on the job, even though that's something Cohen said he didn't want to pay the guys to do. This is clearly option B for the Mets here after Cohen got introduced. I think it can work, and I think eventually Porter's going to take over the role that Sandy Alderson currently resides in.